All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Thursday. We had a wild game yesterday in that Mets Brewers game, but it was a good day overall, up 2.42 units. But before we get into that, a couple of items to note. First off, subscribe to the channel. We had a good day yesterday. Make sure you're following, turn notifications on. Also, I will post the NFL plays for tonight in the community tab. So make sure you check there later today. There is also a poll up, and I want to know what you guys are interested in betting on. So we've got the NBA coming up in 19 days. We got NHL coming up, college basketball coming up. Just curious from a content perspective what you guys are looking for. So if you click under the community tab, make sure you get the votes in there. And like I said, I'll be posting the Thursday night football bets in there. We had a good run on Monday, so I think we've got some good angles today. All right, let's cover yesterday. Great day, really good day. Could have been an amazing day, but Detroit, Houston, Nerfy, sweat free there. I knew my boy Holton could get it done for us. Tigers first five plus 0.5. I very rarely use that plus 0.5, but it was one of those I could see it being a 0-0, 1-1, very low scoring first five. So nailed that one. Mets first five, love that play. And bullpen over 7.5. That's just a system play. At what, 9 out of 12 now? Kansas City first five over 1.5. Dear God, man. They had so many people in scoring position. What did they leave? 12 runners on base, bases loaded in the fourth, the fifth. Just could not find a freaking clutch hit to get that second run in. That said, they got the job done. Parlay, we hit the Detroit and Houston, Kansas City, Baltimore first fives under, sweat free there, and the Mets over 2.5. Man, I almost made that 3.5. Glad I didn't. Let's see, Kansas City, Detroit, team total over 2.5. Again, Kansas City, dude, just my God, could not find a hit. Fun parlay. Oh, that was painful, man. We just needed the Mets to win. That was going to be a plus 1,927. So it could have been back-to-back days hitting plus 1,000 or more parlays. But good day. We went 3 and 4 on the picks. Padres won, Royals won, Tigers won. So we've only got one game left on the card today. Prop leans, we went 3 and 2. Lugo over 3.5K, sweat free. Freed just got absolutely rocked. I didn't expect him to get rocked, but he did. Lugo over 4.5 hits. He finished at 5. Montas over 1.5 earned runs. Check that box. Brown pitched a very good game. Gave up 1 earned run. We need 2. Nerfies, we went 1 and 2. Atlanta scored a run in the first inning, and we already talked about the Detroit Nerfie. So overall, plus 2.42 units. If you love to follow the TikTok cappers, they would technically count that as being like 5.07 units, but we're actually going to do realistic here. All right, well, let's get into the game today. We've got the Mets and the Brewers. If you have any interest in how the public is betting it, here's the lines on that. There is very, very sharp money on the Mets today. So you can see 75% of the bets on the Brewers, 94% of the money. So if you're a money chaser, on the Brewers. Spread is heavily on the Mets, 71% of the money, and the money is on the over. So that's where it's at if you're into that type of stuff. All right, let's take a look at our pitchers today. So we've got Jose Quintana and Tobias Myers. Both of these guys are pitching really well. If we look at Quintana, he hasn't had a great track record against the Brewers, though. He's 0-3 with a 3.86 ERA in 5 games versus this Brewers team since 2022. Hasn't recorded a win. He's faced them 2 times this year. Faced them on March 29th, went 4.2 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. And then as you can see here, unfortunately, I usually flip it to where it's most recent, but you got to go down to up. Kind of stupid. But faced him on 9/28. Pretty damn good game there. Not too much you can say about that. 4.1 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Not too bad. We'll take that. If we look at Quintana, I mean, he's on fire his last 5 games. He's 4-1, a 0.90 ERA. So done quite well. The only thing that concerns me is the walks, right? So he's got 30 innings pitched, 21 hits, 3 earned runs, 9 walks to 29 K. So doing pretty good. Teams aren't hitting very well off of them. They're 21 for 115. Do the math on that. That's a .183 ERA or average. No home runs. I think that is important to note. We have seen some dongs in this series, so I like that he's not giving up home runs. He is a fairly even pitcher. He's got 53% of his outs come via the fly ball, 47% the ground ball. So I like that. If we look at Tobias Myers, he's more heavily skewed towards the fly ball. 63% of his outs, 62.3 if we want to be exact, come via the fly ball, 37.7 with the ground ball. But he's pitching pretty well the last five as well. 3-1 with a 3.00 ERA. That's over 24 innings, 24 hits. That's a decent amount of hits. 8 earned runs, 26 Ks. That's really high for him. Myers isn't a strikeout guy, so averaging over 1K an inning, a little higher than what he should be. Let's see. So yeah, two pretty good starting pitchers going up against each other. If we look at the pitch info, so this just kind of shows you over the last 30 days they're pitching in batter splits. So Quintana, again, last 30 days, giving up a 321 average to lefties. Not too much I want to worry about. Milwaukee's only projected to have 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup, and neither of those scare me. Versus righties, very well. 117 average, 170 WOBA. Hard hit percentage pretty low, 37.1%, 88 x to velo. All those are under the league average. Look at Tobias Myers giving up a 254 average to lefties. Mets will have 3 lefties in the lineup today. And a 315 average against righties, where the Mets will have 6 right-handed hitters in the lineup today. So that is definitely favoring the Mets in this situation, I would say. I like that. If we look at their pitch arsenal here, you can kind of see what Tobias Myers throws, what Jose Quintana throws. So both of them, Myers 40% fastball. If you want to know where the Mets rank out on that, they are middle of the pack. They are 15th over the last 30 days hitting the fastball. The cutter, which Myers throws as his second pitch about 24% of the time. The Mets are second in baseball over the last 30 days hitting that pitch. The slider, they're 23rd. Curveball, he very rarely throws. They're 16th in that. Changeup, he throws about 11.5% of the time. 10th in that number. So decent splits against him. I mean, they're middle of the road or better pretty much against everything he throws. We flipped the script, looked at Quintana, throws the fastball basically 53% of the time, right? We combine what he calls a fastball and a sinker. It's really a cutter. But essentially, Brewers 50 or 24th in the league hitting that, so not doing too well. The only pitch they hit really well, where the Brewers are top 3, would be the slider, but very rarely throws it. 5.5% of the time he throws the slider. So everything else, really, the Brewers have been struggling with. Curveball, the changeup, just all pitches that they really haven't been hitting too well over the last 30 days. If we look at kind of the teams and how they're hitting over the last 7 days, the Mets are hitting 210 with a 72 WRC plus. Not great. Strikeout rate is a little high at 27%. Walk rate is really low at a little under 6%. We look at the Brewers, they've been striking out like crazy. 39% strikeout rate over the last 7 days, 250 average, 90 WRC plus. So both below the average, right? 100 is kind of the average for WRC plus. Both teams are below that. Base on balls for the Brewers, they're doing okay, a little better than the average at 9%. So it's kind of where we're at coming into this, but I think you can kind of almost just throw everything out the window. Let's look at some bullpen data here. Wow. Highly questionable bullpen usage by the Mets yesterday. You had Budo, you had Diaz. I don't understand why they used Maton. I mean, Stanek looked really good. I actually thought maybe they'll leave him out there, but they didn't. And they went to Maton, and my God, they had opportunities to take him out, and they didn't. It felt like a really bad bullpen decision there with Diaz and Budo in there. Diaz hadn't pitched the day before. Oh, man, questionable. But that said, they look okay coming into today. Brewers, Pay Amps has pitched Tuesday and Wednesday, so pitched the last 2 days. McGill threw 22 yesterday. I mean, I think everyone is available today. Devin Williams, their closer, only threw 10 last night. So bullpens are doing okay. I do have some concerns. We look at the Mets bullpen over the last 7 days. They've got a 5.59 ERA. Little scary. You look at the Mets or the Brewers, really good. 1.00 ERA. This bullpen has been pretty solid, so that definitely works in favor in this spot. Look at the pitching report here. Quintana, Myers, both projected to have a pretty good day. I don't think they're going to go too long, right? This is an elimination game. You've got a lot of arms in both pins that are in pretty healthy status, so I think they're going to be very quick to give them the hook. So I don't think they're going to go too long. Walks for Quintana, it's concerning. Like I said, I mean, they're only projected to go 4.8 innings, 4.5 innings. I don't know if they'll go that, right? If one pitcher is struggling, we saw it yesterday with Zach Eflin. He got a pretty quick hook. I think we'll see the same thing today. It's an elimination game, so should be giving them quick hooks in these spots. All right, park factors today. I would assume we're going to have the dome closed, but if not, here's the park factors. Home runs are up, runs are down a little bit. But like I said, most likely this is going to be closed. Let's get into best bets here today. Everything's a half unit. I'm not going super heavy today. Just one game, not a lot of action. I think it's going to be a good game. I would go Mets first 5. I just think Quintana has the edge over Myers. And then I would go Lindor over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Dude's a gamer. I just think he shows up today. We know he's going to bat in that leadoff spot, which means he's going to get 4 or 5 ABs. So I like him to go over that number. And then I'll sprinkle Mets money line. If I had to lean, I like Mets money line. Can we trust that bullpen, right? I hope they make better bullpen decisions today. That said, we know they're going to use Buda. We know they're going to use Diaz. So I trust him in this spot. I think from a pure pitching standpoint, they do have some better options than the Brewers. Parlays I like today, both pitchers under 4.5 Ks. Pair that with the Mets team total over 1.5. Just looking for a little bit of juice to get this over plus 200. If you just want to do both pitchers under 4.5 Ks, I believe it's like close to plus 180. So I just did that just to get it over plus 200. And the other one I like is Mets run line, so plus 1.5, not minus. We're taking the Mets plus 1.5, and then under 8.5 total runs. I know that is very contrarian to how we've been playing this, but elimination game, we're going to see some quick hooks. I think that's going to impact the score. I think we see a lower score. I did look at a first 5 under 4.5, but it's really juiced at like minus 154. I just don't want to do that. So I'll just take the total under, and I've juiced it up. So the total is actually 7.5. I moved it up to 8.5. That's a plus 128. So that is where I see things today. Like I said, make sure you check the community tab. I will be sure to post the Thursday night football plays in there, and make sure you guys vote so I know what content is relevant to you and putting out videos that you guys want to watch. So appreciate all the views yesterday. That was awesome. Video absolutely blew up. I was a little surprised by that. But comment down below if there's a pick that you guys like. I want to know about it. Maybe the community wants to know about it. Give the video a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.